Good morning, children. I hope you all are keeping well at your homes. Okay, now moving forward towards the today's topic, that is your SST. Lesson number 3, changes in the transport system. Children, today we are going to study about the changes. What are the changes that has come in the transport system of today's era? If you remember, in your previous chapter, we studied in lesson number 2, we studied changes in the neighborhood. Children, we studied that what were the things which were during the time of our grandparents and now. What are the changes that we are facing now? The same way, we are going to study about the changes that we are facing in the transport system. First of all, let's discuss what is transport system. Children, now and then, every time we have to travel from one place to another. Okay, so for traveling from one place to another, the system which is being used is known as the transport system. Now, which system, transport system is being divided into three parts, three categories: land transport, water transport, and air transport. The transport which we will choose depends upon the place where we have to go and the amount of money which we can spend to use the particular means of transport. Okay, for example, let's start with the school only. How you people go to school? You people go to school either by bus, either by with your parents on their bikes or scooties, or by yourself also, by bicycle also. So there are many ways that you can use to go to school. On this will which way you choose to go to school will depend upon your needs. If your father is free in the morning, and you stay nearby the school, then easily your father can drop you to school by his scooty. If you stay a little far away from school, then you will be using the bus. On if you are a grown up child, means 10 years old or more than that, then you can use your own bicycle also. Or one more way I told you that you can go by walking also, if the school is close to your house. So any of the following ways can be used depending upon how much money you can spend and how far you stay from your school. Okay, now moving to in the land transport comes few more things: your car, a train, buses, okay, auto rickshaws. Everything it will completely depend upon your usage, where you have to go, that particular transport you will be using. Now moving towards the water transport. In water transport we have two examples. We'll take two examples: ship and boat. Ship is used when you have to travel from one country to another country through water. Okay, when you have to travel from one country to another country through water. Boat is used to nowadays we don't use boats are being used for just for the, you can say, amusements. When we go to some park where the pool is there or small rivers, the boat facilities there, we people go there to just have a enjoyment, to travel from one side to another side. We use the boat. Otherwise, earlier people used to travel with the boats from one city to another city also. Okay, when they have to go with the through the water transport. Okay, now we'll take the example of air transport. Children, air transport is little expensive, so everybody won't prefer air transport to travel from one city to another city. Mostly people prefer train also. So but air transport is very important. It is very necessary when we have to travel from one country to another country. It is less time taking. We can reach from one place to another very quickly. It reduce our time. It and In air transport also we have two examples: aeroplane and helicopter. So these are the things which are there and which were there during the time of your parents also, and now also you can see. But there are many changes that have come in all these things. Now we'll read with the book, and I'll explain you what are the changes that we people are facing. Okay, now please open your books. Lesson number 3, changes in the transport system. Today, every distance is achievable. Means everywhere we can go, wherever we want, from one corner to another corner of the world, we can go anywhere. It is achievable. Do you know why? It is just because of the improved means of transportation and communication available worldwide. Means all over the world, the transport system and communication system is so much big. Means we can go anywhere you want to go. And the communication system, I hope you know the meaning of word communication. The means which you use to talk from to one your relatives or your friends. Nowadays video calling and all is so common that we can talk to anyone. We don't have to just we don't have to use a phone. We can just see them and talk. So this is the advancement. These things were not there during the time of your
Means of transport. As I told you children, there are mainly three means of transport: land transport, water transport and air transport. Okay, now let's see land transport. Land transport includes roads and railways. India has the largest network of roads in the world. The major roads containing state capitals and important cities in India are called the national highways. Means the roads which connect one city to another city, one state to another state. These roads are called national highways. Okay, and India has the largest network of roadways and railways all over the world. Means India has a world record of having the highest largest network of roads in the world. Now, road transport. Fast means of transport like cars, buses, scooters and trucks need pakka roads. Means when we are using the cars, buses, scooters and trucks, these are called the fast means of transport used on the road. For using these transport, we need pakka road. Means that kacha mud road will not work. We require a pakka cemented road to be made so that these vehicles can run through the roads very easily. Such roads are made up of stone and coal tar. Okay, we have a large network of pakka roads in our country. You can see all around that we have a very large network of pakka road everywhere. Now villages are also in villages also the roads are made. The government is trying to make the roads pakka roads. Okay, these roads connect all the important cities. All the main cities are connected through roads only, and these roads are called national highways. The road which connect one city to another is known as the national highways. National highways and state highways are surfaced roads. National highways connect state capitals and important cities in India. State highways connect important states, towns, districts, headquarters within the states. Means suppose we are staying in Lucknow. Lucknow is in Uttar Pradesh. The roads which are connecting the cities between Uttar Pradesh area, between the state of common state, that will be known as the state highway. The roads which connect the cities of one state to another state cities, that will be known as the national highways. Now, district roads connect the important towns of the district with the district headquarters in the state. The roads which connect the small towns to the headquarter towns will be known as the district roads. Some roads that connect our land borders with the rest of the country are called the border roads. For example, China border, Pakistan border, Nepal border means the roads which connect our country to another country by road. That road will be known as the border roads. The highest road in the world is the Leh-Manali road. It runs from Manali in Himachal Pradesh in Leh in Ladakh region of the Kashmir. This you have to remember, children. This is very important. The highest road in the world is Leh-Manali road. This road connects Manali in Himachal Pradesh to Leh in the Ladakh region of Kashmir. This is recorded as the highest road in the world. This is very important, children. Please mark it. Now, moving to rail transport. Railways are an ideal and important means of long distance transportation. See children, right now we were discussing about the roads. This road transport is used to travel from one city to another city, but we prefer to travel through train when we have to travel a long distance. Cars, buses, scooties, and these are not used. These are not preferred to be used to travel from one city to another. Although nowadays people are using, we are traveling from Lucknow to Delhi by road, or by buses also, by cars also. Okay, this also have a reason, because nowadays the roads, the expressways, the highways are built in a very good manner, that one can easily travel from one city to another city through the national highway. Earlier people used to prefer trains only. In India, the first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853. This is again a very important thing. You should know that in India, the first train started off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853. The distance was 34 kilometers. Now we have the largest railway network in Asia. Means this was our railway network started in the year 1853, and now what is the change, children? Now that time we started, now we have the largest railway network in Asia and the fourth largest network in the world. Crores of passengers use it for going far off places. Means it's not about one or two or in thousand or in lakhs. The rail transport is being used by the crores of people. Railways help in carrying heavy and bulky goods. These include coal, minerals, food grains, fertilizers, cement, and many other goods. The longest railway route is between Jammu Tawi in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. See, children, railway transport is not only used to travel, to take passengers from one place to another, or it's not only used by people, it is a very good transport system which is used for the goods also. Means if we have to bring something from Mumbai, it's not us that we are bringing, it is our distributors, our dealers, our manufacturers. They use the transport to carry goods from one place to another for sale and all. Many people living are depending on this only. Okay, what else we transfer from one place to another? Coal, minerals, food grains, fertilizers, cement, all these heavy things can be easily transported with the train. Okay, in this it is discussed that the longest railway, this is again very important, children, to learn. The longest railway route is between Jammu Tawi in the north and Kanyakumari in the south. Jammu Tawi is at the top and Kanyakumari south is at the bottom. So this is the longest railway run in India. It can be travelled in less than 2 days. We can cover this in less than 2 days. Some trains like Tejas, Rajdhani, Shatabdi runs at a very fast speed. Means we have trains which run at a very fast speed. We have Tejas Express. This is a newly invented train. Last year only it started in the month of October. And Rajdhani Express and Shatabdi Express are the old trains that are being running from a long time. And earlier these only were the two trains that run at a very fast speed. Now the government has introduced one train which travels from Delhi to Lucknow. That is our Tejas Express. Now, after railways, we have one more category of railway, that is your metro railway system. This is in the metro railway system is a mode of urban transport which is convenient, fast, comfortable, and user friendly.
A metro runs within a city. Kolkata has underground railway called the Metro. Its operation begins on 24th October 1984. Delhi is the second city in India to have the metro rail. Its operation began on 24th December 2002. See children, the metro was first started in Kolkata. Kolkata has an underground metro system. Okay, and it started in the year 1984. Kolkata was the first city in India to start off with the metro rail. And the second city was Delhi. In Delhi, the metro system started in the year 2002. So the Delhi metro is the world's 12th largest system. Its total length is 218 kilometer and the number of stations is 164. This is again a very knowledgeable thing that you have to remember, children. Our Delhi Metro is the world's 12th largest system. In all over the world, our Delhi Metro system stands at the 12th position, and its total length is 218 kilometer, and 164 stations are there in Delhi. Okay. So this metro railway system and normal railway system, there is a change. Okay, metros don't run from one city to another city. Metro run within the city, and this is the change which you which you have observed when your parents were small and when you people are small. When they were small, the metro system was not so common. But nowadays, in Lucknow also we can see metro. I hope many of you have travelled also in metro. Now, moving to the air transport. Air transport is the fastest and most advanced means of transportation. This means of transport can reach the places where it is not possible to reach by roads and rails. That is jungles, desert, mountainous area. Means air transport, children, is as I told you earlier also, air transport is very expensive. It is not affordable by everyone. So people use land transport only to travel from one city to another city. But when someone has to save the time, when someone has to reach somewhere very early, they prefer air transport because it reduces our time. Time taken to travel from one place to another by air transport is very less. Okay, and it is a very advanced means of transport system being used. Okay, using air transport, we can easily travel, easily go to jungles, desert, and mountain areas. Of course, we have to use maybe have to use a private plane. We have to use the helicopters and all. That you can easily go to these places also where trains cannot reach. Now, travel by air is comfortable, but it is not cost effective. As I told you, to travel by air is of course very comfortable. Very quickly we can reach anywhere, but it is not cost effective. Means it is not affordable by everyone. Helicopters can land in small areas also and are useful in mountains and terrain. Airways are useful during disasters for providing rescue operation when there is some disaster, means some mishappening, earthquake or tsunami, these type of situations occur. So aircraft is being used to provide help to the area where the earthquake or tsunami and all has occurred. All major cities of India are well connected with the air transport. Means mostly the big cities of India have the air transport. Have you seen an airport? Make a list of things that you have seen there. If you have not seen there, I would not advise you to go in this coronavirus and see the airport. But when things may become normal, just go and have a look to airport and see what are the things that you can see there. An airport from where flights take off to different countries is known as international airport. Means we have two categories of airport: international airport and domestic airport. The airports from where the flights to another country is we can take the flight to travel from our country to another country. That airport is known as international airport, and the airport from where we take flights to travel from within our country from one city to another city, that is known as domestic airport. Okay, there are 17 international airports and 88 domestic airports in our country. Some of the important airports in India are, you have to learn some of the names, children. Chhatrapati Shivaji Airport at Mumbai, Indira Gandhi International Airport at Delhi, Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport at Kolkata. Okay, one homework I would like to give you. Please let me know the name of the airport we have in our Lucknow, and please let me that it is an international airport or a domestic airport. You will let me know through the comments. Now, moving to water transport, the progress of a country largely depends on good water transport network. Many rivers in India are suitable for the water transport. Means our country's progress completely depends on the water transport. In India, we have suitable rivers for the water transport. Many big ports, see children, the place where aeroplanes or flights land off or take off, that is known as airport. The place where ship take off, go or come, that place is called ports. So many big ports have been developed in the coastal area. Coastal areas means areas which are near the rivers and all. Big ships and steamers can load and unload goods from these ports. Means big ships and steamers can come there. They can take away the goods from our place. They can unload their goods to our place. This things can be done very easily in our country. The water transport has connected all the continents together. The main 13 seaports in India are at Kolkata, Visakhapatnam, Chennai, Port Blair, Cochin, New Mangalore, Jawaharlal Nehru Port and Kandla. These are the basic ports which are there in our country. The different means of transport system has made our life more comfortable and advanced. As I told you in starting only, all these three transport system, different transport system has made our life very easy and very comfortable. The things can be done very easily. The things for which our parents, our grandparents just think over how we'll go there, how we'll do this. Now it's just at a thought away. We can think and we want to do this. We can travel, and of course it is cost effective. We have to see the money and all, everything, it is affordable, but still the things are affordable and we can go. Okay, so by this our chapter is finished. Please read the chapter once again, try to understand. If you have any doubt related to the chapter, you can message me, I'll clear your doubt. Thank you so much.